Okay, so on YouTube I've been getting a lot of requests for how to beat the game in under 4 hours solely because of getting the rewards for the ending pictures. I don't know the amount of time you need for getting the first and the second picture, but getting all these 3 pictures on a top row and a middle row requires you to beat the game in under 4 hours. On top row, you have to beat the game in normal mode, under 4 hours. Then a picture 4, 5 and 6 on the middle row requires you to beat the game under 4 hours on hard mode. And the last picture gets unlocked after you have collected all of the pictures. Which means just you beat the game twice on normal and hard mode under 4 hours and you unlock the last picture as well. For JoJo archives, for those who are interested to get them, you just collect all the items in all of the areas of the game, 100% all of them, and you get all the items for all of the pictures for each of them. If I wanna say it this way, I assume many of you are not too interested to speedrun the game, so this kind of video where I just beat the game as simply and normally as possible is more of like what you're probably interested of, and we'll be doing it on a hard mode. What is different from hard mode is just pretty much enemies deals more damage. There's nothing different for boss fights, there's nothing different for enemies, you just take more damage. That's about it. I'll start my run and I'll explain what I will be doing, where I will go. And yeah, no sequence breaks will be done, no early grapple beam or no early gravity suit, but if you wanna do those, feel free to do that. You just gotta know when you do them and how to do them, and that's about it. But I'll be doing it without sequence breaks. While I'm playing, I'll also collect as many items as possible for those people who might be struggling with the hard mode. And keep in mind, when you play the hard mode, you can take your time with the stuff. But as long as you don't just get lost where to go and so on. I highly recommend you collect E-tanks that are on your way. Some of the E-tanks are out of the way, so may not be required to collect them at all. I'll be doing this in one sitting. What do I wanna say? You don't have to go like this fast how I'm doing. I'm a speedrunner of this game, so this is kind of my my movement. I need to keep in mind we're on a hard mode, so I need to keep it at. We're gonna get the first E-tank in a while though, after a charge beam. There are lots of missile tanks I'll be collecting as well that are on the way. Very valuable stuff for those people who don't want to mash, because mashing is... it's really hard. It can be really hard for people to do mashing. One thing to keep in mind is that no matter how fast you play the game, many people are wondering why is the in-game time longer than the real time. The timer you see in the bottom of the chat right now, why is that shorter than the in-game time at the end of the game? That's because all the cutscenes are gonna count towards the final time. When you skip the cutscene, the amount of time that you spend in that cutscene is gonna count towards the final time for the in-game time. That's why in-game time is longer than real time. If you have any questions in the chat, just ask them, I mean. And if you have any questions in YouTube, feel free to ask them too. Also, you should say hi YouTube, because this is a YouTube focused content here, right chat? Keep in mind with the hard mode, just keep in mind that you take more damage. That's about it. That's an important thing to keep in mind. So this cutscene right here, now when I skip that amount of time I spent in that cutscene is gonna count towards the final time. Also, the in-game time, as far as I know, if you pause the game like this or like this, I assume that also stops the in-game time, but I'm not 100% sure. So I highly recommend that if you're not too sure what counts towards the in-game time, because I'm not actually too sure, but I would assume loading times and pausing stops the timer. If you didn't like the segment you just did, or like this part that you just did, where you save, then you go from A to B, you can always restart and try again. And keep in mind, when you go through enemy zones, the game automatically saves. So you have a save checkpoint always for that. Definitely pick up this missile tank too, so you don't have to worry about the missiles against Scorpius. You'll be needing some missiles against him. I'll keep the boss fights and everything as simple as possible and explain how to beat them very fast, but without that much of an issue, if that makes sense. Now we have to go this way. Break these 2 blocks and go directly to the enemy zone. And this is the direction I always like to go to. If you're scared of this enemy, you can always wait for it to come to part 2 and just go around it. The enemy always spawns on a spot, so it's quite consistent. Other than in other enemies, they can be a little bit tricky to maneuver over. Here you should use missiles against those little fly things, so they die immediately, like that. And a single missile against that cloth thing is also working too. Thanks, Kinoko. Good luck. For the starting, it's not that much different. It's always the same. This is a very linear route that we go through. It's nothing is too different or so from a speedrun. Other than doing the couple of glitches at the start of the game, but I wasn't doing those. Every map point you go through, it has a save point. All of these yellow rooms are save points. I'm fairly certain you know of them. You know about them by now. You can slide through those enemies. That's no issue. Slide through this enemy too, or just use a missile to it. A single missile kills them, and you get a bunch of missiles from it too. This is the direction you wanna go to. Most of the enemy areas, well, pretty much all of them, they look all really same, so you do wanna like follow the kind of route that I'm taking, so you may not get lost too easily. And don't be ashamed to use the map too. That's what I was using a lot. Yeah, I took a hit. Oh no. There's an enemy right here. Definitely kill it before you go through if you want to. Not take a hit there. There's a bird like right here, right away. And here's our charge beam. The very first sequence break will be early grapple beam, and that takes like a half an hour to get to, so we'll be not seeing any sequence breaks this run anyway, but that's how late you will be getting how early you will do the first sequence break. Other than that, this is the direction we have to go to. And you can go around from the right side or left side, it doesn't matter. If you don't wanna get hit from that enemy, you can kill it first. This is the first E-tank. There will be E-tank parts I'll be collecting as well. If you want to, you can just wait for this enemy to do attack and melee it instead of jumping over it. You have lots of time to react to that fly enemy. To counter it if you don't wanna jump over it or something. This is the direction we have to go to now. Hello Pedora, what's up? So the important thing to keep in mind when you just want to beat the game under 4 hours is just knowing where you have to go. And if you die to enemy or just enemies but you have saved, that's all fine. You can just restart and start from the previous checkpoint. So right now we have to go this way. We don't talk with Adam yet. Now we come to this pretty familiar room that Jaffe hates. Don't forget to go up. And we have to go this way to divert the or change the direction of the magma. Here's a save point if you really need it. I might be moving fast, but I'm just used to do it this way. Don't really have anything else to say about it. Every boss fight I'll be showing just how you can beat them with just the missiles or shooting teams without having to do any of the mashing. Because some people, I'm very certain some of you are not familiar how to do quick mashing like this. It's its own skill really, that to be able to mash and vibrate your hand for that. Getting the missile right to the magma device, that would be a good one too. Yeah, that would have been a good one to get. If you need some health and missiles, this is the spot you can refill on. The yellow or the golden statue like this is always revealing both. This is the direction we have to go to, all the way down over here. Now we can drop down here. If you can jump all the way over here. But if you miss the jump, we'll have to go this way. Just a little bit of detour. This way? Yeah. Just a little bit of detour if you miss that jump. Then we go here and do the first central unit. Use missiles against these central units. And run away from the circles. You can use the melee to hit the circles like this and get the missiles back and such. You can use missiles against the central unit after you have broken down the core, the cover. Now against the first actual enemy, the comfortable situation where you wanna be is wait for it to come down to part 2 and be here instead. The speedrunning route would be using the very top one, and you will have to be fast to get there. But this is the very safe one. You have lots of time to react to what you have to do. When you take the faceplate off, immediately charge with the R button and wait for the situation when you can shoot it and take it down. That's what I would recommend, using the bottom part of this area for taking down the bite enemy. But yeah, to getting the missile right next to the magma device, the very first magma device we use, that will be a good one to use. You just need to open the door there, then you have a free 2 missiles to get if you want to. We have spider magnet. I would recommend to go from here instead. Start climbing up from here. One trick I can definitely tell you is that you can do this, where you hold left all this time and jump against the wall like this. So you save a little bit of time, and it can feel much better to jump on the walls with a spider magnet. This part you can immediately jump up here like this, kill this enemy. Break the whole wall if you want to. Kill this enemy off your way, get the missile, then just take down this wall right here, and of course to kill the enemy if you want to. Now we go to the first boss fight. Orpheus. If you don't want to melee this, you can just missile it down with a couple missiles and it will just go down. Each of these enemies, they take more hits eventually. But against Scorpius, it has a really small hitbox on its head. That thing that it's gonna throw you, the poison bubble thing, you can just shoot it down and it gives you some health and missiles. I would recommend that you stay away from the Scorpius the whole time. When it does that attack, you can actually go like inside its circle here, so you can just keep damaging it. Each time you shoot a missile to its head, it starts it starts like moving its head down the middle. Here I would recommend that you just shoot missiles as much as you can, like almost knowing where the head is. Because you're gonna refill your missiles and health soon, when we go to the next phase. And the next phase starts when we shoot its tail. Go down. If you want to, you can go to the animation. That's what I would recommend. You deal way less damage in animation, which is why speedrunners never use this. But it's a good way to deal safe and good damage. Here I would recommend that you go to the wall. It's always... Oh, that was pretty fast. On a wall, when it does that attack, Purpose keeps the head in the same spot all the time. If you have missiles, you can just spam them to hit its head, and it will take a lot of hits there. But that went really well for me, because I was using my missiles a lot in the second phase. There's one place that feels like damage is unavoidable when you bleed the wrecked facility with the fire. There's one place where fire comes from all directions as you run through. Yeah, there's a couple of those spots, but we'll be having 2 E-tanks at that point, so it will be all fine. So we now have to go through from up. We have to go this way. Yeah, this way. So if you missed, we missed this missile earlier, and here's the missile. Let's take it for the safety measure, not that it matters, but it's right here. The good one tip I can give you is that you see this animation, it looks like a screw attack. That's because you have charged the beam loaded. Any weak enemy will just die to it when you hit it with the... This is a... I don't know its name actually, but the community has put the name to it, and it can kill any weak enemy like this. So that's good to keep in mind if you wanna have some safety when you do some jumping. My English is not working now. But this is pretty much the first part of the art area, and here if you want to avoid taking damage, then just wait for the lava, the fire to go through. Then you go to Akataris. The worst mistake everyone will do is you go to the right. Well, just go to the left. Going to the left is the right way, and the only way to go to right now. There is this enemy right here you can avoid if you want to, but also kill it easily with a melee. With a melee, it's really good. And each time you do a melee and you kill the enemy with that, after that, you get more rewards from it, so more missiles and more energy from it. Just call it a spin jump attack. They weren't feeling too creative with that naming. Yeah. Direction we have to go to. I mean, there's only one direction to go to in this area, and it is just this way. We have to move the direction of these magma devices all the time. This is the way. If you need some missiles or energy, that's the spot you can refill at. This feels kind of weird because I'm like holding everyone's hand how to beat the game in under 4 hours while being fast. Now I'm just here trying to beat the game with everything that is the fastest way to beat. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, but this is definitely a very good way to go through everywhere. From the spider wall, if you don't want to jump, that's fine, just use that spider magnet then. Those enemies will not damage you, you can just run past them. They will never hit you if you don't stop. Killing these enemies, you can just use missiles if you don't want to get hit by them. This is a good spot to do a wall jump, so I would recommend to do that instead of going from the left side. less hassle to think about, you know. But if they're on your way like this now, use the Phantom Cloak, I don't know, just avoid them. Like, we have no strats against enemies, honestly. We just run past them if we can. The RNG decides whether we can go around them or not. Just edit that out. Yeah, I'll edit it out. I'll have something funny there. If the route proves 1, any chance it becomes a run? I will be so bored of doing the glitchless, no sequence break run, honestly. Okay, this enemy likes to be here, so I would recommend that you just wait for it to go past you. Then run past it like this. That enemy, green enemy has the like the most RNGs, most of the like RNG throw potential. Like it can really be on your way, and then it can really suck so much. Yeah, there's a boss fight. Yeah, that's the one. That one of the room is the one where the boss fight is later. When it does that animation there, that's when you can do the melee. I recommend opening this door first, so you have a little bit of. So it's already open when you come back. This was the way we had to go to, then we go past back. This enemy is back here again, so keep that in your mind. Most of the enemies, they respawn almost immediately. This is a health refill station, so if you need health, and this is a save station. This was already open from this side, so you can immediately go save if you want to. But remember that every time you go to enemy zones, or you die to enemy, your checkpoint is already outside of enemy zone. So you don't have to worry about the game over too much, other than if you die outside, somewhere without enemy zone being nearby. So yeah, Kataris only has like one direction we can go to right now until we start getting more and more items. These enemies may hit you, but you can just run past them like that I just did, and you should have no issues. Better to kill all of these enemies before, and I mean it's the best way to deal with them, you just kill them. There's an enemy right here, but I knew the spot where I had to shot, so I just killed it before I even saw it. Those enemies you can kill if you want to, but like I said, I'm a speedrunner, I wanna go fast. Chat doesn't have anything interesting to ask, so I guess I'm doing a really good job at explaining everything. This enemy more or so never spawns on your way when you're going this direction. It always spawns like above there, but it can't catch you if you just keep going. Here's a map station, you can get the map if you want to. First kill the enemy, then we go back to enemy zone. And this is the way we have to go to. There's a couple of enemies here, but the one on your height can only hit you. You saw the spin attack thing that I just used there. That's how I can damage them and kill them just one shot like that. But only works on enemies that are weak. Keep that in your mind. Strong enemies, they will just tank that. Pretty much for what is more important for hard mode is just knowing the spot for E-tanks and just knowing where you can refill your health and such. The difference between these two E-tanks here right now, the one in the right is the actual E-tank and the one at the bottom is the E-tank part. Just so you know. I'm not gonna take that one E-tank part because we'll have other E-tanks on our way. This enemy, if you don't want to go fast, you can actually lure it somewhere here. Let it come after you. Use a Phantom Cloak. Then get out quickly. That enemy does a lot of damage, you wanna be careful around it. But if you die to it, and you just came out of enemy zone, that's fine, because you just spawn in the same room. Anyway, this is the direction we have to go to. Definitely wanna kill that enemy first, because it's kinda annoying to deal with, but it moves so fast. You have to take down this spider with the spider magnet. Then we can go back. And we're on our way to Tyron. This is what I do in my speedrun, but if you don't want to do that, then just kill it normally. And here's a big E-tank part. It's an actual E-tank, I mean. And we're on our way to Tyron. I'm speedrunning this part right now. You can jump over the enemy like that, but if you don't want to, yeah, just don't do anything, I guess. I don't wanna go too slow, you know. Still wanna go fast. Is a general question: do you go out of your way to pick up any E-tanks you wouldn't in normal? I will be collecting everything that is on my way, and there's actually a full E-tank that we can collect in Purania, but that is like something that is completely out of the way, like 20 rooms ahead or whatever, like that is so far away, and it's like a puzzle you have to solve. Then that's something I may not get. That's something I may not get. I wouldn't, but if people want to, they can go and get them. But I'm gonna like focus on keep it simple, that you can pick up these and it will be enough for you to beat the game. And only to keep in mind for hard mode, you only take more damage, and that's about it. Nothing is harder, like there's no less checkpoints or anything like that. Which is kinda sad that the hard mode wasn't that much harder then. Anyway, we're on Tyron and we have to go this way. There's a spinner on the way, so keep that in your mind. You can counter the enemy right there. This spinner things dies from the charge beams, I think. Also from missiles. So this is the direction we have to go to. I would always kill these enemies with a counter like this. When you know the timing for them, they're not gonna be that hard to remember, but if you need to react to them, some of them are really fast and hard, even impossible to react to, so it will be better that you know the timing for countering them. Alright. Now we need to get white beam. Take down the spinner, kill the enemy. Take down the missile block, and here's our white beam. You think the only out of the way E-tanks are Storm Missile one in Piranha, and there's one super far out of the way in a Tyron nearby where you get Varia. Yeah, there's a one, it's... That one nearby Varia is actually in Artaria. Okay, this part, what I will do is try to avoid those enemies, especially kill that enemy first. Definitely kill this enemy. And if you want to, you can kill that enemy too. That casts down with a couple missiles. Then we go this way. When it comes to speed booster enemy that is right here, as soon as you start running to the right, it stops looking after you. So you can safely go around from here and go all the way to the right. We're out of enemy zone. Now we have to head back. Kill the enemy out of the way. Kill that enemy too. Probably better with the counter, you know. We're back in Kataris. Next is getting a Morphball. Take that shortcut without to avoid. Oh, that enemy is never gonna hit you if you keep just running to the right. You don't have to worry about it. Now, this is the part where it might be a little bit tricky, but if the enemy is not on your way, it's fine. Then we just need to go this direction. Remember to go this way. It was enemy zones are easy to go to and really hard to remember where to go. Remember about the missiles. Just spam them against these. If you're out of missiles, then use your charge beam. You can also use the regular shots here. Doesn't matter how fast you do them, as long as you are knowing where the shots are coming from and you can just avoid them too. Is this a tutorial? Yes. People on YouTube have been asking me how to beat this game under 4 hours without having to like put too much effort to it. So here I am doing a kind of like a casual playthrough. Okay, for this enemy, I would recommend to try to get it to the right side like this. You better to go to the right side by staying in the right side first. Take off its faceplate, then just kill it with the Omega Blaster. This whole game is a tutorial. Yeah. Now we have Morph Ball. We'll be grabbing a couple missiles on our way to Varia Suit. We can go this way, open the path, and this is the direction we have to go to. Morph Ball. Easy missile tank right here next to us. And we go this way. Be aware of those enemies. Those are the spots where they spawn on. Now this is the path we wanna go to the red teleport. Then here's a save point too if you want. Definitely wanna pick up these 10 missiles, and we're gonna have a lot of missiles against Krite soon. After we get Varia Suit. This teleport is really close to Morph Ball location and really close to getting to the Krite, so highly recommend you use this. For going to Artaria to pick up Varia Suit, then coming back from Artaria. For this part, if you want to avoid the hits, then you can just wait it out. And kill all the enemies over here. Here is a missile if you want. You need to use a missile against that to get it shown. And here is the E-Tank part we are actually gonna pick up. Does this game ever crash during speedrun? There is a crash that can happen, but I haven't personally had it happen yet. Here's a couple of secret blocks you can go through, so you don't have to go do the long path. Can't really say anything about this part. We are just gonna try to avoid taking a hit. Not really. We're just gonna go through this without slowing it down too much, because if you slow down here, the heat is gonna come after you and you're gonna get burned. This part, I would recommend that you get all the way up here. You can just climb up or something and you just shoot to the right to open the path for you. Open the path like that. Don't really have anything else to say here. But that's how you go through that. And here we get Varia Suit. Now after Varia Suit we can go back. If you want to, you can go and get that missile, but you have to be really fast at getting it. But because I'm on hard mode, I'm fairly certain I will die from the damage of that lava, so I'm not gonna go and pick it up. Even if I was on normal mode, I wouldn't go pick it up still. Besides, we have lots of missiles and enough missiles to beat Cry pretty much. The fight gives you a lot of missiles, but if you want to refill your health right now, you can use it on this statue. Now we go back. Okay, now we are back. Take the save point if you want to. I don't need to, so it's running fast. If you want some missiles back, this is the spot where you will get them. Break those two blocks, just like all of those blocks like that, and you don't have to worry about the lava damage. Wait for the animation to happen, which is like just wait for the sound cue. There's two more enemies right here, so don't keep in mind that you don't just run to them. You can jump over here, and now when you want to do that with a melee counter, you can do it. Depends if you want to, you don't have to. But you get a lot of HP and missiles back from it. Now against Cry, I highly recommend you just spam missiles. Just spam missiles to its mouth. Don't do anything else unless you just run out of missiles. You have lots of missiles to just use. When it does that animation, just shoot its mouth, but also try to avoid its fireballs and such. And this is the good way for you to refill your health as well. Each of the claw always gives you a missile, so you're always getting missiles back when you fight against him and he throws claws at you. Now here, just hit its belly, but if you sequence break and when to get those bombs, then you can use that. Now on this point, the spider magnet is gonna fall down, and now we can open the mouth and keep damaging him again. Against this part, I would recommend that you just let him to drop all of his claws, then have safely a moment to use missiles. I did say that the animations damages him less, but all of the bosses less, but this will be a good moment to just do that, so you get some attacks in. This is a really weird part, but if you can avoid the hit like that, and it's really hard to avoid. You have to know like the timing. The timing is like when he's leaning backwards and he's getting ready to punch you. That's when you wanna jump. But that's how you can beat Cry effectively, with just the missiles and some charge beams here and there. Are the animation combat sequence not worth wasting missiles on? Not really, but they're also good just to like get consistent damage in. They're not worth it because they're not faster and you deal way less damage on animations. For example, Corpius, the very first boss of this game, he takes 50% less damage or something like that from animation. I don't know about Cry, but I wouldn't be surprised it's the same for Cry too. Now we have Diffusion Beam. We can just go and use this teleport to go back to Tyron. Yeah, animations are safe. So if you're worried about damaging the boss, you can use the animations just to deal the damage. And this is the moment where we will do our first sequence break. But for this video, oh yeah, I did like a quick charge beam shot there where I start charging my charge beam and mid-air I start shooting down. That's like just some advanced tech you can do if you want to, but you don't have to. You can just aim down and shoot it with that, like that. Now this is the direction we have to go to. And this is where we will do early grapple beam, but for this video I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do the early grapple beam. But if you want to, that's where you will do it. And you will have to look at my tutorial I put it on YouTube. my channel, or like a speedrun of mine or anyone's speedrun and learn how to do the early grapple beam from that way, but for this video I'm not gonna do any of these sequence breaks. Next up we're gonna get is bombs. After this door there's an enemy right here, you can just kill it normally quickly with the regular beams. You wanna be careful with the yellow enemy because it's the speed enemy, keep that in your mind. This is the way we need to go to. If you wanted to sequence break to bombs, this will be the way to do it. You wanna do like a sliding off the ledge like this. Just gonna show it quickly. This will be the way you do early bombs if you wanted to do that, for those who wanna do it. But we're not gonna do that. Instead we're gonna do it this way, where we use the diffusion beam to shoot through that block. And we go this way. This will be exactly the same to get to the bombs then. You wanna be very fast against that enemy, so keep that in your mind for using the melee. Pretty much need to know the timing for some of the enemies. We need the power back in this area, so we need to go this way. Yeah, amiibos can be used too if you want to. Not necessary, but you can use them too if you want to. Now we have to go back up here and get our bombs. Welcome Ratchild. Alright, now we have bombs. There's 2 missiles. Definitely pick it up if you want to. It's gonna... You can put the bomb down like just jumping and putting down a bomb. It's not too difficult. And now we are on our way to Burenia next. Oh, and this spot is another golden statue. You can just reveal everything if you want to there. Now we go to the left. We go this direction. If you want to, you can go pick up some missiles over here. But I'll put it down a bomb a couple lines like that. If you want some extra missiles again, you can then get them from the next room. Oh yeah, here's a save point if you want that. Shooting to the ceiling like here, and you can easily get some missiles right like that. You don't need a grapple beam for that block. You're gonna go this way. Then just slide through these morph ball holes and you go to Burenia. Go, stay in a morph ball if you want to avoid an enemy like that. This enemy you can just shoot it from here and it will be dead in a couple shots. And obviously if you want to avoid the hits, then you can just stay a little bit farther away, use missiles, anything goes really. Now in Burenia, you need to go a little bit underwater for a couple times. These enemies can be easily killed with a morph ball and a bomb like that. You can just use that the way to kill them like that. Now, because I don't have a grapple beam, we have to go this direction. I remember the bombs technique that really works. That works really well. We have no issues with that. You can use it here as well. It's a little nice shortcut if you wanna do it like that, but you can use the ball as well. For the spider magnet. So that's how I can get through this. Now this enemy in a ceiling, you can actually grapple beam it, but we don't have a grapple beam like now, so we have to just kill with the missiles and such. It deals a lot of damage, you wanna be careful with it. And especially when you take off its shield with a grapple, it deals even way more damage because it's that one enemy that explodes when it contacts with you.
Uploading data. Unlockability.
No, it's not a hitless. This you can read the title. Read the title. So you can kill the enemy that way or just shoot it from a far away. Up to you. Now this part I would recommend you go to morph ball and just drop down and hold right like this. Immediately unmorph and immediately shoot an enemy. But if you don't shoot it immediately, that's fine. You can just tank the hit and shoot it down after that. This enemy is not gonna hit you if you keep running to the right. No need to worry about that. These enemies are in a cycle as well. When you're nearby them, they will start spawning. Remember the morph ball thing? It works really well here too. Now this part, I think you had to go down this way, was it? You have to go down this way? Yeah, I think so. Because I always skip this part with a grapple beam. I'm not used to do this underwater section of Piranha anymore. But yeah, I think it's this way. Yeah, go this way. This seems correct. Yeah, seems correct. Okay. We want our way to get here. If you had the grapple beam, you can just open the path with that, but yeah. Those enemies always spawn at the right time, so you can wait them out, then go and climb up. And this is where we can get a blast shift. We'll be using Flash Shift for a couple of things to get some things faster, and especially like just some things that we can get right now. For example, that E-tank right there. You wanna jump and Flash Shift like when you're going against that corner that is like a diagonally. That's when you can easily and really well get that E-tank then with the Flash Shift. If you had the grapple beam, you can just use that too. And here you would like to do a wall jump, Flash Shift twice, and you can go past it like that. No problem then. And kill the enemy off your way, then you have no problem to get past this. Don't really have anything else to say, but when you shoot these enemies, they almost instantly turn back to you. Now this missile, you can get it like this if you're fast, but if you're not, that's not an end of the world. I'm not gonna pick it up because it's not gonna be too bad of a deal if we miss that. For this part, you can go through it and shoot, or you can do that what I just did there. You can very safely get those diffusion beam shots to hit that and lower the water. And we're gonna get speed booster really soon. Alright. This enemy spawns instantly. Kill them first and just morph ball through. You can shoot an enemy to its shell with a missile, I think, too, so you can use that. Here, this enemy always spawns above us, so what we wanna do is quickly Flash Shift like this, then just run to the right. Just keep running to the right. We run this way. Slide from here, Flash Shift through, put down the wall if you want to, then we go this way. Most of the time, many of you probably forget to use the Flash Shift, and that's alright. If you want to, you can go around from the top side, But if you want to be a little bit faster and just why not, you can just do it like that. Remember the missiles. Keep using the missiles. There's only one like automatic turret that is gonna shoot you, so you can avoid that. Remember the running melee too. It deals damage and actually breaks those circles. Now the speed enemy might be tricky to work with. What we do as a speedrunner, we go to the upper platform and immediately shoot it from there, but what I will do for you is that you wanna flash it to the left like this immediately, then shoot down, and you should have enough time to take down its base plate. Well, if you're not fast enough like that, then just, like, I don't know, just go somewhere that is safe. I don't know. But after you have taken off the base plate, you have all the freedom and time in the world to shoot with the Omega cannon. The really tricky part is taking off the base plate, because it's super fast on that situation. But when it has its base plate off, it's not fast anymore. Is there a Shine Spark charge possible before this brain fight? No, because you don't have a speed booster at this point. Hey, Align. No, I see. Congrats on that personal best. Now we have a speed booster. I'm not gonna go too much into details with the speed booster, but if there's a tutorial video on my channel, you can learn how to use a speed booster and a shine sparking, but I'll be showing a couple of tricks here and there. You can use this moment to get an E-tank part if you want to. I'll be getting that missile tank that this game a little bit teaches you to use, which is like right here. If you don't get this, it's alright, you can just continue and continue normally without it. I'm not gonna do anything too fancy shine sparking, but I'll be showing a couple of things that you can do. If you want to skip the animation here, you want to go to the morph ball. Then just hold up and jump. That's the E-tank you really wanna get. Now we have 4 E-tanks. The best way to get up is we go from here. But if you don't want to, that's alright. Now, because we don't have the grapple beam, what we actually have to do is to go this way. Open this door and release the shine spark here. Because we don't have a grapple beam, but if we had the grapple beam, we would go immediately to Verania. That's what we do in speedruns. But since we don't have it, what we do is that we go get it right now, and this is where the yellow teleport is very convenient for us, because we're gonna go really close to grapple beam. Immediately after opening the door, we need to go to the up. And this is where we get to the grapple beam really soon. Oh, you wanna kill the enemy off your side first, but you wanna get the speed boost and go this way. You wanna charge your shine spark this way if you save some time and headache from climbing up. There's a save point if you want it, but not too necessary. And here's our grapple beam. After getting grapple beam, what I will do is that we go... Well, actually, it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter do you go up from here or do you go back to teleport, because going back to teleport is pretty much the same speed as going up to the elevator. So it's pretty much up to you. Do you want to use the teleport or do you want to use this path that I'm going through? It doesn't matter. It's the same speed. Like, just do whatever you want, kinda. Now we're back here. We have some stuff. Now, if you want an early grapple, if you want an early power bomb, missile these blocks twice and get a power bomb upgrade. You can't use it, but you'll have a power bomb for yourself later if you want to use it. Other than that, if you don't need it, then just break this block and go up. And this is where we end up really close to the yellow teleport, if you remember this room. Now from here we need to kill this enemy and get our shine spark or just a speed boost to get through this and get up here. Oops. And that's how we get to Verania. Now here's a good part where you can actually climb up without using the grapple beam. Wall jump and immediately splash it to the right. So you have no issues whatsoever to get through that. Probably wanna wait for that spinner thing to go through. On this spot I always like to, even on speedruns, to grapple like that, so there's like no issues to slide off. Whistle the first enemy, flash shift through, then we start the fight with the Jojo shoulder. Now against the Jojo shoulder I would always use the shine spark, but because I'm not doing that, I'm just using missiles and avoiding it as much as I can. If you want to, you can use the chance to use the melee counter, but if you don't want to, then avoid its hits all the time and stay around like here, where I am. So you have some time to react to what it does. The red attack there like that, you can't parry it, you can't melee it, keep that in your mind. You can also stay on ground, so you don't have to jump over like this, what I'm doing right now. You lose a lot of missiles there, but you get all that back after you have fought it. Definitely wanna grapple this. This is the kind of spot where I would recommend like trying to get this shine spark. What you wanna do for this is that you charge your speed booster, jump like around where the red line is, then hold left this whole time. When you have done all the wall jumps and gone over to the left side, then get the shine spark ready. Like this. Morph ball here, then just jump with a morph ball and hold down right to get this missile. But if you don't get it, that's fine. We can just skip that, and there's some other missiles we can pick up later that are much easier to access. But that's how you can get that very easily, I guess. You don't want to know how I got that for the first time. It was way too complicated. If you wanna know. I shine sparked meteor after I drew through the blocks or something, I don't know. It was too complicated.
Uploading data.
But I got the shine spark from the lift too. That's how I did that as well. Alright. Now we have to head back to Urania. I would say the simple path to go to is to go from here. There is an enemy right around here, so you wanna avoid it by going from the above like this. No issue whatsoever. And because we're not doing the speed run, I'm just taking the most simple route right now to go through. We'll be saying hi to Experiment sooner or later. Staying in a morph ball, you can't get a hit by that enemy. Want to avoid the hit there like that, you can just bait its attack all the time like that. We're back in Verania. Remember the morph ball thing with the bombs? Yeah, definitely use that there. You can easily get this E-tank part. The one more part we'll be getting later, no worries. Now here you definitely wanna dig down that gel like that, avoid it, and Try to not get hit like that. You saw I just lost a 1 E-tank. I lost a 1 big E-tank there. Kill the enemy like this with a diffusion beam, like, so you have no issues whatsoever. There's a map station if you need it, and a health. You can also refill, or not really refill, but you can also just get a checkpoint there. Using missiles against this is a really good way to beat them. Now here's a really good 10 missiles if you want them. Gotta know the timing of the... Just gotta know that there's a missile block, then flash shift twice. That's it really. Right here is another enemy like this again, and you can avoid it really easily, almost like that. But if you don't want to avoid it, immediately when it attacks you, you wanna counter it like that. You get a lot of HP back from it. When you run against that, you can just immediately melee it like that. Flash shifting away from these also works really well. Now, since we're not doing any, you know, glitches or whatsoever, and it doesn't matter, we're gonna do some easy maneuver, get to the Trokuga and beat it. Kill the enemy from that side first before you do anything with the grapple beam. You can do the grapple beam like this and get to the other side very, very safely. You don't have to do the mid-air grapples and such. Now against Trokuga, the best way is just to spam missiles to that weak point all the time. Put down shoot a shot there, grapple up, go to the other side. You know the drill, what you have to do against Trokuga. Use a charge shot to its weak point and shoot missiles after that. Then counter its attack like that and you're off to the next phase. Pretty much the same, like the first one. The underwater spore spawn. That attack you wanna immediately go up with the grapple to avoid its hit there. If it does it again, then just, you know, do it again, rinse and repeat. Nothing else really to say about it. After this, if you did get the counter, the fight is over very soon. Ever seen this boss? Yeah, me neither actually. Now this is a really interesting part because you can just flash shift 3 times here this way and you'll be fine. Now for this part I would actually recommend you refill your health if you did take damage there. And use Phantom Cloak and grapple up like this. If you can. If you don't want to, you can just kill the enemies. And that is a very safe way to avoid taking any hit there while climbing up and just... But if you want to, you can just kill the enemies. They're like really weak anyway. Ah, Kafuran. Alright. We go to the right. Grapple up there. Easy peasy. This enemy is really weak here, just shoot it down with the regular shots and so on. Get these missiles. Now the enemy, this boss starts immediately when you get to the middle of the room, so... Wanna be ready for the shot and like that. When it starts shooting at you, you definitely want to go to the other side so you don't avoid its shot. It deals a lot of damage on a hard mode, keep it in your mind. In a speedrun we will be using one Shine Spark to it and take like 50% of its HP off right away. If you took some hits there, you can actually go up here and use these little flies to refill our health. Is it faster to get super missiles, or is it just not good? It's worthless to get super missiles early because you'll be going this way regardless. And when you get them early, you still can't go through anywhere here, so it's just pointless to get them early. You're stuck at getting anywhere because the paths are closed.
Uploading data.
Sam is the new one.
We are gonna get some item upgrades. We're gonna get super missile and we're gonna get a We're gonna get super missile and plasma beam soon. That enemy deals a lot of damage, you wanna be careful around it. The fastest way will be using a counter to it. When it starts covering itself and getting ready to attack, that's like the moment when you want to be ready to counter it. Here you can reveal yourself, but it doesn't matter much because right in the next room there's all these flies you can kill with that one diffusion beam. Get a lot of reveal back right like that. Now this is the direction we have to go to. What you should do is that you can enter this room and immediately jump up and use the flash shift that is done in speedruns, but you can also take your time and go from below or just kill this big whale and get lots of missiles back from it. Elun visit is not gonna be too long. Save point right there if you need it. Bump these blocks, like you should. If you need some missiles, there's a refill station for that. After this cutscene, immediately go to the right, then just bump this down. And if you were fast enough, you can avoid that enemy there. But if you weren't, then just kill it. Now this enemy, use missiles to it or counter it, doesn't really matter. This enemy is a little bit annoying to go around, but you can jump over it if you were fast enough. Does it ever die? It doesn't ever die. Okay, I think what I would say is that probably just counter it, I guess, or tank the damage and go around it. Using missiles against it doesn't seem to be that worth it. Now we have plasma. We deal some more damage. This enemy dies really fast. Jump over this enemy right away. Don't just bother fighting it. You can immediately kill these enemies with a plasma. And start climbing up this way. Now it would be a good moment to counter this so you get your HP back. Against all of the JoJo warriors, probably the best one will be that you use missiles to it if you don't want to mash your shots, because using a fast shot, using a mashing method can be training for your hand, so missiles are a good way to deal a lot of damage. Doesn't really matter. Anything that is comfortable to you is what matters. Don't really have anything to say about those double counters. They are mandatory for beating the game. Right after this room, there is a E-tank. You can easily get it with the bolt jump after breaking those blocks. Now we have 5 E-tanks. Soon we're gonna have 6 actually. Here you want light to speed boost out of your way, out of this place. That enemy dies right away from the speed booster, so you don't have to shoot it down. Keep in mind, we are running against in-game time, not the real time. You can watch the cutscene, but as long as you keep playing and keep playing, that's all that matters. Now against these enemies refills your health a lot, so you can just use them to refill your health. A couple of these enemies dies really fast, so you can just immediately shoot them down. Reminding that that enemy almost killed me, so you probably want to just tank the hit and go around it instead. Because right in the next room there's a lot of flies you can just kill for getting some HP back. Like that. You get a lot of HP there. Now dealing with ice enemy can be really tricky, so a simple way to deal with that is to get to the other side of this water quickly before it sees you and freezes you. Get through this door, that will be the safest play. You can go around from that side, but I can show you the faster way to get up quickly. You wanna jump and aim up and immediately use your grapple like that to get here. But if you don't want to, that's alright. You can use the grapple to climb up this part of the wall and go around here. Your health refill station right there if you need it. Now for this part, I actually can't remember this room anymore. Probably want to stay in a grapple. Stay up here and grapple the other side. But keep in mind when you're moving with a phantom cloak, you take more damage. You start taking damage when it takes down the meter. Bolt jump over and flash shift over, so you don't have to deal with the enemy. And here just grapple up like this. Doesn't matter. Here's a refill station and a missile refill station if you need that. We're getting a speed boost right now. Kinda surprising item because a little bit after that we're gonna get space jump. Doesn't matter, do you do it like that? I just wanna be a little bit fancy there. Mixing up my movement a little bit. Alright, now we have spin boost, we head back. Direction we have to go to. We also have to fight a JoJo warrior. That is right here. This is good of me to use missiles. If you don't want to do the mashing, mashing will be like this. But knowing its pattern and using flash shift to avoid fast attacks can be really good. There's an enemy right above us that can be really annoying to deal with, so either kill it normally, if you can, or just counter it like that. Now we have to head back up. Kill all these enemies on our way. There's a lot of flies right on your path like this. Now we have to use the spin boost to head back. Remember the flash ship, it's really useful to get around that and you don't have to hold them water at all. And here then we go to the other side. That's what the spin boost is really here. There's an enemy up right here, we can avoid it really easily like this if you can. But if you don't, then just take your time and shoot it down or something. I don't know, it's just anything that kind of works, you know. Okay, and here we are gonna go and fight our next central unit. Remember, it's coming from the left side and the top right, the circle things. Central unit dies really fast and easily if you have a good mashing and you can just shoot down the plasma. Plasma is really strong against it. Ice enemy can be really tricky to go around, but there's a really pretty much a one way that is the most consistent and safest is that you go around this way and use this to get around here. Keep in mind, try to not open this door, it's important for this part. Now enemy is gonna come up from below like that, then it's gonna rise up to the ceiling. And this is the moment when you have to hit its base, take down its faceplate. This is still a good moment, we can make it down, we can kill it here. It's all fine. If you're too scared to finish it up here, you can actually go down around it, or open a door behind you and then just go around again or something like that. Or so you know. Yeah, you can melee the rings, and that's a good way to get some missiles quickly if you don't have missiles and you don't want to charge beam or something. It's really up to you. Alright, now we have Ice Missile. This is it's a really good DPS output for you. For mini bosses, we'll be using that. Now, going up, we can kill this enemy with Ice Missiles, actually. Freeze it down, just use Ice Missiles to take it down. Take this E-Tank with you, it's gonna be really helpful. Now from here, I would suggest that you don't go up, but if you want, you can take the up and use that moment to get Pulse Radar. It doesn't matter do you get it or not, but it doesn't really help you at all, you know, that much, right? Anyway, we are going to Perania from here. This is not that much different, but the Pulse Radar will make you go up from here, then you will end up in this spot, and you will just go down from here, and you will still end up on this spot, so it doesn't really matter do you get the Pulse Radar or not. If you have your low HP or health or so, then you can just use that station to get your HP back or so. In Perania, we're gonna get Storm Missile and Space Jump, in that order. Thank you Need Rules for the Prime Gaming sub. Alright, we're in Perania. What we are gonna do... Oh, I will suggest that you start your speed boost like around here, then just jump and kill this enemy right away, so you don't have to worry about it. Kill this enemy with just 2 missiles, so you don't have to worry about it. This enemy is really weak, so try to shoot it immediately if you can, so it doesn't block the door. But if it blocks the door, use Ice Missiles to break it, kill it. Is it not worth it for cross bombs? With cross bombs you will have to do a little bit of sequence breaking, and that's not a part of this at all. Besides, cross bombs are not gonna help us for like anything really. Alright, the direction we have to go to is down immediately from that door. We go this way. This will be a good spot for you to just stay in a morph ball and head to this enemy door. Now there's a lot of water over here, so I would suggest that you stay above enemy all the time. But if it comes after you above, then quickly go to the water. Also, you can use your grapple beam to avoid it like this. Okay, please don't chase me anymore. No, it stopped me. Oh no. Okay, but if you can somehow avoid it, then you will get to here, pretty much. And about the enemy's counter, the first one you can react to. The first one is reactable, you can react to it. But the second counter, if you try to react to it, you can barely react to it, but I would suggest that you just guess it. Try to react to the first one, but don't try to react to the second one. Just guess it. At that point, if it catches you, you're most likely dead anyway. let's just be honest. But this is the direction we have to go to. We need to go this way. Use the grapple over that wall. Use it again there, maybe. Go to the other side. Use it up there too. Get all over the other side. To the other side. Missile that enemy so it doesn't bother you. You can missile this shortcut if you want to. You don't have to. Doesn't matter how you get through this part. It spawns a lot of enemies, so you can get some health reveal from that. And this is the moment you can get this E-Tank part if you want to. At this point, if you have taken all the E-Tank parts I've taken, then you have more E-Tanks now. You should have, I think that's 7, I don't know, 7 or 6. But anyway, you should have a lot of E-Tanks at this point. Okay, let's rewind and say that nothing happened, okay? Just use the speed boost here. And charge it here when it's coming to parts you like now and hold up. And that's how we can take 50% of its HP off. Just like that. It does like so much damage on a hard mode. It is not that bad boss as I promise you once you know its patterns. Just like any boss, really. Alright. I'm used to do this boss with a screw attack, by the way. That's why I died. I'm such a noob now. I wonder though, is Ice Missile stronger here or or a Charge Beam? Why am I not using it? Is it considered a glitch? Because some people don't want to properly go and learn Shine Sparking. That is why I didn't want to use it there. But because I have too much trouble doing the fight without screw attack, I had to use it. It's not that bad, but it may not be something you wanna learn possibly if you just want to beat the game under 4 hours. There's a health refill station above with missiles as well, if you need that. Also some refill there too, if you need that. If you ice missile that enemy once, then it's just you can easily avoid it like that. You can climb up with a speed boost really easily like this, so you don't have to avoid climbing up with a spider magnet. If you lost some HP, this is the station you can get your hits on, held back on. Now this can be a little bit annoying, but let's make it to work. The black one is the weakest. The black Jojo is the weakest here, so kill it first. You get some refill and stuff back from it. You can take your moment to damage the gold one too, in meanwhile. Plasma beam is piercing through the enemy, so you can use that as well if they're nearby each other. You can shoot them both at the same time. Now we're gonna get space jump. Now we have space jump. We are gonna go to Piranha and grab a gravity suit for us. You're gonna wanna kill all those enemies. If you need the health refill, you can immediately get them from that. Right above you is an enemy. Kill that. Then grapple up here. Kill the enemy above you, obviously. Then we just head back up and we're gonna go to Piranha from the green teleport. It's the fastest way to get there, and pretty much gets us really close to the gravity suit. This is not a no-hit run. Read the title, please. Anyway. This is the way we go to. You know, this might be the moment when we do early gravity suit, but no worries, because we have space jump. We use space jump over here to get to the green teleport. If you want to do the Shine Spark puzzle to get the gravity suit sooner, that's alright, you can do that. But if you want to do that Shine Spark puzzle, you would go this way. But just to be a simple, what you will do without it, we go this way. But for those people, you just go this way, you do this puzzle, you use the secret path to get to the gravity suit earlier. But for this video, we're going this way. Yes, it's a sub goal. Now for this puzzle, we have to get all the way over here. Get this path open. There's some 10 missiles here for you to grab as well. We can't reach up here, so we have to go from here. I haven't done this path for a while, so excuse me my gameplay. I think it's jumping from here. This is where you need a space jump normally. You can get to gravity suit without space jump. If you need a health refill, this is the spot where we can do that. And also you can use these enemies too if you want to. At what point does gold event trigger to leading up to experiment? When you go to the board, when you go to the teleport that leads to, or when you go to the what is it called? When you go to the elevator here in Piranha that leads to Artaria, that triggers Frozen Artaria. No, gravity suit doesn't trigger it. It's confirmed it's not gravity suit. This can be a little bit tricky to go through, but we have to go this way, I believe. I haven't gone through this direction for like forever, so just gonna avoid enemies here. Remember the morph ball, you can do that. Here's a save station if you need that. Over here, you will have to go through this part and grab bullet block. Oh boy. You can get a lot of HP back from that, so you can use that. Opportunity for that when you take off the grapple block. Now, if I'm kinda sure, which I'm not actually, you can get this. Yeah, you can actually. Yeah, okay, first kill this enemy. Then just storm missile this. I mean all of them. I really mean all of them. Like that. Grapple up here, then just flash shift to the right. Without failing. Like this, and you have a E-tank here. And this should be the amount of E-tank you will go for the rest of the run. Reminding that underwater your counter is slower, so even if you were very early there, you can still get down that enemy. Then you just run through this way. You need to open the path there by using the diffusion beam a couple times like that. Probably wanna kill those enemies too, just to get them off your way. They don't deal like any damage, so it's all fine. What counts as a glitch for a glitchless? Like pseudo waves, anything that clips you through the wall, anything you shoot through the wall, that's pretty much a glitch. They deal a lot of damage, so you probably want to just stay away from them, kill them away that way. And now here we have some interesting rooms that I haven't gone through for a while. Yeah, you need to phantom cloak this part, kill a couple of these enemies, and you get a lot of HP back. These piranhas, I guess, you wanna shoot them down before you go this way. Yes. This is the moment where you will come back from doing the early gravity suit part, after you have done that puzzle with the shine sparking. But since we didn't do that, we have this path, we just went through the normal path. Then we go this way and get our gravity suit. Now after getting gravity suit, we only have one direction to go to, and that is to Artaria. And after going through Artaria, it's frozen. Going through the elevator to Artaria freezes the Artaria, not the talking to Aram or getting gravity suit.
Uploading data.
Sequence breaks are not glitches, unless it has some method that is not intended, like water bomb jump, for example. Water bomb jump is definitely a glitch. Fighting Draguga normally already feels like a glitch in itself. Through water bombing is a glitch. Why? To simply explain that you put down a bomb, you let it explode, then you unmorph, then you morph mid-air like that underwater. That is not intended, really. That is not like intended, I would say. But who knows, maybe it is. If you need these missiles, then jump over all the way from here. This is just a space jump when you hit that thing, lever thing, I don't know. If you need some HP, this will be the spot where you can get them. You can freeze the enemy just easily with the one ice missile, and you just go past this way. These enemies always spawn at that moment, so you wanna let them spawn first, then you can go through it. If you want to be fancy, you can get a shine spark here. So you start running this way, set up the shine spark, then go through this. If you don't want to, that's alright. And I will just show you how to do this fight without shine sparking. You will immediately shine spark him when you land, just by jumping. You just jump right away and release the shine spark to hit his way. This is an easier fight of the Dojo Warrior compared to Gold Warrior that has a little bit harder shield to break down. Just countering its shield will break its shield is what I mean. Every time it does that attack, you will want to use the flash shift, so you avoid it. It does its own animation for it, so you can easily notice it. if you pay attention to the enemy. What I do there is I look at the enemy all the time, then I shoot it. And based on its movement, I do the flash shift or not. If you have some E-tank parts, you will be getting these, but I have none of them anymore, so I'm not gonna pick up any of the E-tank parts. I'll be going with this amount of E-tanks I have right now. But this is the direction we will have to go to. There's only one direction you can go here, pretty much. Lots of enemies hits like a truck here, so you wanna be careful around them.
Uploading data.
I have this.
We are on our way to Qataris and stop this freezing completely. Immediately start jumping up with a space jump and try to avoid the enemies too. They're really hard to avoid and they're just really hard to fight against, let's just say, so probably wanna avoid them mostly. This one again is freeze right away. Put that down with a pseudo wave. Let that enemy spawn, like fly around like that, and jump over this enemy. These are frozen right away, so you don't have to worry about using a phantom cloak. This one you want to maybe like bait it like that first. This is the way we need to go to. Shooting down these enemies is really fast and easy just by shooting them because they're really weak. These are the burst area enemies pretty much. Experiment is my favorite boss fight of this game. Unfortunately it's skipped in a speedrun route right now. If you need some HP you can get it from countering that enemy, killing these quickly enemies and such. If you need a save station, here's your save station then. Also, really easy missile tank right there. Countering these always will give you the HP and missiles back a lot. If you want, you can also use this to refill all your HP back and missiles too. Now we have 93 missiles. This is a really comfortable amount of missiles against Experiment. So not really too bad of a fight. Just spam missiles to it and avoid its attacks pretty much. I would use a charged plasma beam always there after he has done the swiping animation. Definitely wanna avoid his attacks all the time. It does a lot of damage on hard mode. Pay attention what it does mostly. And if it does that, then you just avoid it like that. In the next phase, when it... Here you would probably wanna crouch, then just let it do its attack. Then counter it and just go to the animation. Deals a nice amount of damage at least. So you get to spam ice missiles a lot. What's the quick kill strat for this boss? You use a Shine Spark in the next phase when you take off its 8 skull offs. Here you want to hit its claw with a charged plasma and an ice missile. 3 ice missiles works too. I can show, but it didn't get a chance. Here, if you want to, you can do the Shine Spark quick kill. I've done it in a tutorial series, so you can learn it from that, but for this video I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna just do the fight without it and show how it's done. You will just spam missiles to it when you're in this animation. That's an attack that is nothing, you don't have to worry about it. Remember the thing of what I told you? Counter it here then. This is not too bad to go to animation where you can just... You deal a lot of damage just with these ice missiles. You don't have storms yet? Oh yeah, I have a storms too. I'm not used to have a storms here. In speedrun, I'm never used to have a storm missile, by the way, so storm missile works too. This attack, remember there's a one extra attack, which is swiping in the middle like that, so you wanna stay in the middle like that. I guess using the storm missile there is something I never talked about. Oh yeah, keep in mind that he also... Yeah, Ice Missile. Storm Missile works really well there. I'm not used to have it here, okay? I'm just doing something without Shine Spark. With a Shine Spark the battle is over if you do that. Does the boss change if you kill all 4 claws? It immediately does that animation where you have to run against the wind. That's just pretty much it. And he does that attack. He doesn't do that attack again if you take all of his gloves off. That's about it, really. If you take none of his gloves off, I think he just takes an extra time to go to the animation with the possible chance to do the quick kill of the wind animation. Anyway, after the fight, we're gonna go to the blue teleport. The claws heal him. Oh, I didn't know. Shows how much I play the game. I guess it makes sense. Anyway, since we have space jump, not gonna be too bad to get to. "30 minutes before losing because he didn't kill the claws." Alright, yeah. Take down the claws, chat. Take down the claws. Also use Storm Missile. You have Storm Missile at this point if you don't use sequence breaks. I'm just used to do the fight without Storm Missile. Alright. We are back in Altaria. We're gonna get our screw attack. And then we have to get to Carboran. And well, there is a good way to get to Carboran without any issues. We don't have to go to... We don't have to go back to Purania, because that will be a little bit tricky way to get to the Carboran, because there's a double JoJo shoulders. After getting, if you want to, there's 2 paths, but I'm only gonna do 1 path. This is a fastest way that you can do. You go back to Purania, you take this missile and take this missile too if you want to. Then there's a double JoJo, robot JoJo of shoulders you might fight for. They're both golden, so they take a lot of damage to die. You can do that if you want to, but I'm gonna show you much safer path, so you don't have to worry about those fights at all. We're gonna take the red teleport and go to Kataris. By the way, yeah, we can go from here actually. That is like a very safest way to get back to Purania. Don't need to worry about dying possibly millions of times to golden JoJos. We have Screw Attack too. Screw Attack does a lot of damage to JoJo warriors, but you also take damage when you fight against them. It's really easy to get to the red teleport right here like this, no problem. Right next to the red teleport, there is an orange teleport right this direction. You can easily get here with just the space jump and screw attack, no problem. This is our path to get to the Carboran right now. Now we're in Carboran. It's not gonna be too bad to get to the next part we need to go to. We're gonna go beat next boss called Suna for getting cross bombs. Cross bombs are not required to beat the game, but it is the only way to beat the game, however, that we beat Golsuna. There's a blocks by the way, you can screw attack. These are screw attack blocks by the way. These enemies dies with a single screw attack, so you can just kill them like that. Now when it comes to Golsuna boss fight, Ice Missile is definitely the best way to kill it without having to do the Shine Spark strats at all. Screw attacking twice the second base is really easy and deals a lot of damage to it. Now against Golsuna, just Ice Missile it really when it has its attack. This attack, or just any attack that is like that, just screw attack over it and it blast it around here, so you don't have to worry about dodging it. Golsuna does a lot of damage. On hard mode, I can't even imagine how many E-tanks you just lose from it. We can test it quickly. Oh boy. That's a full 3 full E-tanks. Just from a single attack like that, so you wanna be careful with Golsuna. I don't really have anything else to say about it. Yeah, mostly try to avoid it and use Ice Missiles. 2 Shine Sparks kills it, by the way. For this one I can actually show you what you can do. Take the Shine Spark, immediately use it like this, and you can just take down the X-Core immediately like that. If you wanna do it like that. If not, then use Screw Attack maybe, I don't know. But be careful that you don't crash your game, I guess. I think it's random if it crashes, so definitely wanna be careful with the Screw Attack. Though, before you do the fight, this door right here is a save point. Use that if you want to save. I can imagine so many people in YouTube are gonna ask, why do you take cross bombs? Can you not beat the game without cross bombs? Well, no, you can't. And you don't need them actually. You don't need cross bombs to beat the game, but this is the only way to beat the game. You get to actually Hanubia and yeah. Do I have to explain more? Hopefully not. Cross bombs are a side effect of being in the game. Yep. Now we go this way and we have to talk with Adam again.
Uploading data.
This area, there is a bio.
This enemy immediately, when it attacks you, it deals a lot of damage. You can immediately kill it with a screw attack. And even if you immediately attack with a screw attack, it still can damage you. Not sure why. This enemy dies with a single cross bomb or a regular bomb. This can't hit you if you get to this corner. They can't suck you in, don't worry. Now this is the direction we need to go to. There's some missiles if you need them. Screw attack these blocks because you have to. Just to be a little bit faster, you can screw attack those blocks because this block right here is a bomb block. Remember the bombs? Bombs are really good. Also, using a screw attack against them just easily kills them. This dies with a single couple of screw attacks, and also this enemy dies with a screw attack. So abuse the screw attack a lot is what I'm just saying here, I guess. Back in Verenia once again. Now, just this time we're getting Wave Beam, because Wave Beam is impossible to get without Storm Missile and Gravity Suit, as of now. Here's a health refill station, you can use that to get your health back. This is a very comfortable amount of HP, I would say. Like, I would feel very comfortable with it if I was doing a run like this, but for my speedruns I always have 4 E-tanks. Screw attacking these enemies is very effective. This also dies from a single screw attack, so you can use that. For this part, I recommend to put it down a cross bump like this, then slide off right here, or just use a regular morph. So you don't have to avoid, you can avoid the enemy easily like that. Though that enemy there dies from a single screw attack, so it doesn't really matter if you do that fast or not. Depends. Anything dies from a screw attack with a single hit, so it's like, just abuse it, man. It's too good. So this is the way we need to go to. Probably wanna kill that enemy so it's not on your way when you go this way. Now for this part, if you don't get this Shine Spark at all, it's fine because you can just use missiles, but when you have the Shine Spark here, just raise it, aim it up like that, you take off the shell, and guess what? A single screw attack kills the central unit without the armor. And that's the fight. You don't have to use missiles or beams at all to kill it. It's really simple and easy fight. When it comes to purple Emmy, it is the scariest one to deal with because it takes the longest to take off its faceplate. The speedrun strat will do it here, but we're not gonna do that. Instead, we're gonna make it all the way up. Open this path though. Make sure you open that path. Flash shift all the way over here, then just shoot this direction. Also hold right. Just hold right, like something like this way. Just keep holding right. It will come eventually. You'll take off its faceplate even if it doesn't even get closer to you. Then charge your shot and shoot it right away. But if you don't want to shoot it right away, then just wait for it to come close to you, then it will stand up. It always stands up when it's close to you without the faceplate. Thank you Propalone for Prime Gaming sub. Thank you so much. Does this game have lag frames? Well, there's a spot where it lags a lot, actually. It's the power pump enemy that lags the game a lot. Or it's just a fight arena, I guess. We're pretty much very close to the end game. I mean, we're at the end game, really, let's just say. That enemy is gonna spawn soon, so just kill it first. Then go through. You can't get to this save point without Wave Beam, reminding why you can't use that. But that red Jojo bite is like, yeah, it's like 5 FPS. Reminding the screw attack, it's too good, just abuse it. That enemy, you probably wanna shoot it from here so it's not on your way. You can refill your HP in this next room really easily with just these central units if you need HP. They die from a single missile anyway. Or a single screw attack, doesn't matter. Up to you, what do you wanna do? Now when it comes to red Emmy, it's already dead. But the red Jojo, however, is not dead yet, so wanna kill it. With just anything goes, really. When it does that animation, that's the moment when you can shatter its shield. If you're minding that shot, you need to always be ready to flash shift away. Doesn't matter if you use regular shots, mashing method or ice missiles, it's up to you. Be careful of where it's attacked though, it does a lot of HP. Not to mention the cold charge, so it does a lot of more damage too. This fight has extreme frame drops on your Switch for some reason. It has for everyone, not just you. That fight lags for everyone. Now this is the last power upgrade, item upgrade, power bombs. And now we just go beat the game. At this point, it's been over 2 hours in real time. Probably a little bit more than that in in-game time, so it's been going very smoothly. We're really in a good pace to beat this under 2 hours and a half even in real time, if you wanna be fast. Now when it comes to the next room, just lay down the power bomb there. It will break it down anyway. Then lay it down here. I mean, it's all fine. Killing those enemies down there will reveal your stuff completely. It also gives you all the power bombs. So you can lay down another one here and just have these down already too. All these blocks are regular bomb blocks. But it can go smoothly when you just lay down the power bomb there.
Uploading data.
Sam is the medicine I have this.
For the next room, if you don't want to, you can just climb up normally with the screw attack and a space jump. This enemy dies right away with a single screw attack anyway. But you can also use the shine spark and it goes up here then. There's an enemy right here. 2 screw attacks and it dies right away. If you are not revealed, you can use the reveal station. Then it comes to the next attack, that is the called Jojo. When you take down its shield, it will give you some HP back too. But to take off its shield, you need to immediately use your grapple after the melee. I believe a power bomb doesn't work here against this old Jojo at all, so don't bother using that. Other Jojos, they are very weak against the power bomb. For example, the Carveran Jojo warrior can be done later because you can skip that with some sequence breaking, and 2 power bombs just takes down that that boss fight right away. But that's a gold Jojo. Did I go too fast? I mean, you just beat it down like just every other Jojo warriors, really. Losing a chance to get that, you know. Because real time is over 2 hours for us, and in-game time is about, I don't know, 20 minutes slower, just because we skip the cutscenes. When you skip the cutscenes, that adds the amount of time you spend in a cutscene to the final time. For whatever reason. When it comes to the Raven Peak fight, the very first phase he has a shield on. You can't damage him. You can't actually damage Raven Peak. The black hole goes down immediately with the 4 ice missiles. Do that. Just immediately take it down. Raven Peak takes only 10 ice missiles, then it does this attack. After this attack, immediately start damaging it in any way you want to. You have to beat Raven Peak, you have to melee counter him in the first phase. Because that's the only way to beat him. When it does that, you just run against him and use the melee. Then you deal the damage, just any way possible. Now to start the second phase. In a second phase, I would recommend using Storm Missile or Ice Missiles. It doesn't matter, but regular shots cost too. In a speedrun, we use Ice Missiles because it deals the most damage, and Storm Missile just is slower. When he's ready to Gatling gun like that, just avoid it this way with a space jump. He usually does it twice. So be ready for that. Then Ice Missile him. Avoid its attacks. That attack he usually does it after trying to ground pound you quickly. Sliding or just morph balling, that attack is really good. He deals a lot of damage on a hard mode, that's why you would want to avoid it. Just always avoid the Gatling gun. He does like damage like, I think every frame or something. As a measure, like in a normal mode, he does like a 2 E-tank damage. So imagine on a hard mode how much he does. Here they do that same thing, just use missiles. This sun you can take down with a power bomb. You don't have to avoid it. Important to remember is the power bomb. It does damage, yeah, it actually does take down the sun. Don't really have anything else to say here, but yeah, try to avoid him and his attacks. You can't slide underneath him on that attack, you can't do that. If you're wondering why I'm not using Shine Spark, that's because it does nothing. He's immune to Shine Spark. Power Bomb deals damage though. Power Bomb does deal damage. That's pretty much the fight, so... Now you just do the escape and... Good job, you probably got under 4 hours. If you were like as fast as I was. I was just messing around and doing some stuff here anyway, but... I was taking it safely for the hard mode. Pretty much, so... Hopefully... You got to beat the game under 4 hours. For this part, if you want to be extra sure that you get the fight down, just hold down the shoot button and don't release it. The fight doesn't go any faster. Actually, the fight stops down immediately when Ravenpeak gets close to you and he does this animation over here and he's almost ready to eat you, but because you're using the hyper beam, he dies. That will be the moment where he dies. He doesn't die any earlier. That's why you will see speedrunners using the hyper beam later. Don't really have anything to say here other than just don't get lost. And I mean, there's no way to get lost because you only have one path to go in all of these. You can do some fancy stuff with like a speed booster stuff if you want to. Anything that touches Samus just dies, so you don't have to worry about your health at all. You just kill everything. Here I would recommend to use the Shine Spark. A little bit faster. And just looks a lot cooler, you know. So this one I'm gonna go for. You may depends if you're able to do these ball jumps, you can do these too. But I kinda mess up that, so doesn't matter. But when you make it all the way up here, you've successfully beaten the game then, and that's when the time ends for speedruns and the in-game time pretty much. So yeah, that's how you beat the game in under 3 hours pretty much. I'm gonna show you the in-game time. I know it's gonna be over 2 hours and a half possibly, but I know for sure it's gonna be over 2 hours and 18 minutes anyway. Hey, it was rather close actually. But yeah, that's how you beat the game under 3 hours pretty much, even 2 hours and a half or so, but this should be more than enough for you to go through the game and beat it under 4 hours to get all those ending rewards for yourself. Reminding you have to do it on normal mode and hard mode to get all the ending rewards. I hope you enjoyed it.